pleasure. It's an honor. I have some questions for you, and I'm sure you can answer them very, naturally, because it's about everything you have been doing your entire career. So I'll start with a perspective on the region, since we are working with different powerful women in the world, in different regions. As a woman leader in Latin America specifically, what do you think was the greatest challenge you had to face to break ceilings, glass ceilings? What is the one that have, left you some great memory of difficulty or of joy, maybe? How was that?
Yes, actually, first of all, thank you very much, Tati, for your question. It's always good hear question regarding women and women in Latin America. Being an executive in Latin America, when we represent the diversity that goes abroad, the gender, ethnic, and this diversity that's come in Latin America, we still, as you put in your question, we still in a process to break the silos. This is something important to face, but also it's really important to recognize that the company is in a journey to understand, to learn, and to change. So yes, being a leader, and especially in Latin America, in a global company, empower you much more to inspire other companies to make this cultural transformation, to say, yes, we need welcoming all diversity, and then with this welcoming, we will promote the innovation. And then the innovation will come and make the transformation, and then we'll empower much more the education. The education process is the only way that will support us on this transformation. Is that what I believe? And then is that what happened here with women leadership in Latin America?
Which was a moment of, difficulty for you when you felt that you had to, break prejudice or, teach people things, then you could embrace a role or an achievement?
Honestly, Tati, I have a different moment, I have different situations that put me sometime in a spot. And then, but I usually remember always all that I learned from my father and my mother. We have a choice. You should choose the way that you want to see the difficulties, the challenges that the lives bring to you. And then I am a kind of person that optimistic, naturally optimistic. And then, for instance, I faced difficult sometimes when I was in a business lunch, and then I stand in the door of the restaurant, and then people look to my hair, people look to my face, and then they don't recognize me as a Rachel Maia, as the only president that we have here in Brazil as a woman and Black woman. And then I have received a lot of advice from the manager from the restaurant said, oh, you know what? The service entry is not here, is in another door. They invite me or they show me the door of service entrance, This happened with me, but I always use this moment to make a little transformation, And then I have a moment that I show my idea, said, oh, you know what? I'm Rachel. I'm here because I have been invited. And then I really appreciate you not just judge me because my ethnic or my, my hair or whatever. Everybody should be treated with the same respect as you would like to receive. So this is a moment in the life that you are learning. And then I also I'm learning too how to treat with this type of the difficult. This happened, Tati, in my life often, but I decided to see the positive way, how I can transform, how I can support these people, also change the mindset, and treat people with respect.
Thank you, Rachel. And why do you think there are not so many females in leadership roles in Latin America? Still not so many. Why do you think it's still happening in the region?
Actually, globally, female represent 51% in the corporate world. In the GDP perspective, we do represent 38%. So the figures show us that we have a lot of opportunities to change this. And then yes, in Latin America, it's worse because in executive level, we have 15.4% of women. And then if we change this, this percentage, or if you change the level and put on the CEO and president, we go to less than 1%. One of the reason why it's because we have a lot of opportunity on the cultural transformation, and especially if we look to Black people. Mm-hmm. We do have 51% in gender as a woman here in Brazil, and 56% in a Black population. So what that means, Tati, we are not applied equity. What that means, we are not being plural. When we check around us, and then we see a lot of similarity. We see a lot of like equals. This should be question mark for us. If we don't see a lot of plurality around us, we should stop and rebuild the process. So this is one of the major problems. We are okay when we see around us just similar and then just equal. We should challenge ourselves. And then when we put us on this position, when we put our comfortable zone in a position of like a question, not just question about why I'm not seeing the diversity, but a question about why I did accept that up to now. It's fine if you make this question for you now on. It's not fine if you continue to accept that. This is one of the reasons why we still have like a major minority not being represented on the high level position on the leadership. I hope this was clear.
No, it's super clear. And actually, I think it responds part of my next question. That would be, what can the other leaders do to change that reality? I mean, how to develop, to promote more women into leadership roles?
You're right. Yes, you're right, Tati. Actually, we should challenge ourselves. We should understand that this position was fine up to now. We should change. If we really want to propose that transformation, not to the right moment, not just to the present, but we should start not in the future. We should start this transformation now, in the present. I'll not accept anymore people come to me, big private funds, big investor, or Brazil is a country of the future. Always will be a country of the future. No, we should be the country of the present. We should propose this change now. If not, we will continue to be the country, the future country. You know, we will not be in the future. We are in the present. We are now. We are on this moment. Let's make this transformation. Let's believe that people can transform.
Wonderful. And Rachel, who has had the greatest impact in shaping your career trajectory? And what have they done to be so impactful? Is there such a figure, someone that has had this impact in your career?
Actually, first of all, I do not have just one. Mm-hmm. I really like, I believe in God, and then I believe in a moment of life that we can take the most advantage of the time, that the people, the book, everything that we have around us on the moment, that we can take advantage. Tati, I think this is the impactful, is the way that you take, this is the sentence that I would like to say, is the way that you take advantage of each opportunity the life presents to you. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we like to look besides, said, oh, you know what? Tati was much luckier than I on this situation and blah, blah, blah. Let's try make my opportunity, the life that I perceive. I understood that opportunity was for me. I will like potentialize that opportunity as much as I can. Because if not, I will always believe that Tati, Diana has more opportunity than I. For real, yes, you do have, because you are white, and then the percentage show that. We should not ignore that you ladies, white ladies, has more opportunities than black ladies. Fine, we understood. Let's change. Mm-hmm. Let's move. Let's embrace all difficulties that this means for us, that the movement to transformation will bring to us, because we bring a lot of the difficulties. It's fine. If we be together, this will be tough, but will be tough because it's not so tough when we are alone, when we are together, when we embrace the situation to make the change for real. We make things happen, we move. And then when a woman is in movement, all worlds moving too. I believe deeply on that. And then, of course, my mom, she has just like, she doesn't went to school. She didn't went to school because she has a very poor life, but she always has opportunity to give me wonderful advice. My mom is the most impactful person in my life, for sure.
That's wonderful.
As the person that has the most impactful in my life, there's no doubt. I was thinking here like about when I met Obama. Of course, I met Obama. Obama was so kind and nice. He was so happy to meet on that time when that happened, to have the opportunity, because he said that to me. I'm so happy to have the opportunity to meet the only Black president from a global company here in Brazil. You know, I said, you know what? I am shocked, you know, because this was something that came to me. And then he came for a second time in Brazil, and then he invited me to be there. We had a very small dinner, and then he invited me to be on that, like a very pocket event. And then he was very happy to have me there. So this showed me like a different perspective, like also from the politician side too. So I have a lot of people that impact me too. Different than, more than my mother, but depend of the moment of my life. And then I usually take a lot of advantage of that.
That's wonderful. Rachel, in the organizations you are currently on the board or recently as an executive, which are the actions that you or these organizations were taking to promote greater inclusion of women and of also Black executives? Is there any program that has impacted you more, or something you were very proud of? Which initiative is more representative for you in terms of the organizations you were part of?
Tachi, your question is so, so excited. I want to say a lot of things because you put a lot of information in your question. And then I said, you know what, I'm talk a lot because I think Tachi is putting a lot of information. But regarding Obama, I just bring for you guys see, this was one of the pictures that I took with Obama. That was very happy moment. And then people, the security around said, you should not talk to him. You should not touch him. And then I talked to him, I touched him, and he hugged me. It was very happy, was very funny moment because the security was all, they was all shocked, what's going on over there? Was very happy. Was very nice situation. Yes, I am board member of like 4 administrative board member. I'm 4, and then also I'm president of like the consultative board member of UNICEF here in Brazil too. And then these 4 boards is now on giving me the opportunity to work not just in financial. This is my background, and then is what I work in my executive life. But they also is give me the opportunity to coordinate or be part of like the committee of like sustainability. And then for me, it's been like a very important moment because with my presence, I'm helping and then inspire them not just to talk about sustainability for the environment, but also talk about sustainability, the second pillar, that is so important as environment, but the social. So this is like the subject that I have been insist with them. Talk about the environment, it's very important, is no doubts about. But also talk about the social pillar, and then bring the right relevance for that pillar is my responsibility. And then I'm doing that I feel very happy. And then one of that board, I'm being like part of like the auditive financial, and the other 3, I'm being part of the sustainability. And then when I was executive, I had one, just bring as example, I had one dinner one time in the house of the Mexican ambassador. And then they asked me, Rachel, tell me a bit about the diversity. And the president of a global company that I was president on that time too, the global president was there, was from Procter & Gamble. And then she just stand and then she said, Rachel, may I answer that question? I know that the question was for you, but may I answer? I said, of course, please. And then she looked to the ambassador, and then she said like that, Rachel can get in and going out. She already represent, and then she already give a message to us. We must empower much more the diversity. She should not be the only one. So what I mean with that, actually, we should challenge ourselves. We should make questions to ourselves. Why is the only one? Why still the only female Black on this environment, on this table? we should like bring that question. And then if I don't do anything, actually already like provoke that question for each one that was there. But beside that, I usually empower my C-level, and then I usually put equity on my C-level. I usually bring the percentage of diversity on my C-level. I usually provoke, empower them to bring more equity on the process of higher process with percentage. Ask them to include percentage on the bonus and on the goals and things like that. I usually make some like improvements on the diversity side in the companies that I have been president or have been executive there. Is that? And then I feel very proud because always when we are able to change a little bit, you know, the environment that you know has like all the, sometimes it's years of cultural mindset, same mindset, and then you come and then you should understand that the corporative world has specific codes. We should understand these codes. We should take care about, because in our last name, we have like the company name. We should like take care about that too. It's a lot of points that it's more than talk about the diversity. It's more than talk about like how we are propose a very good experience of the consumer, but make sure that consumer know that you're more than just a picture. You are bring content of like a, you know, of like a diversity for that company. You are empower women. You are bring like a woman for the right place. We are promote that woman to be the spokesperson of the company, all that. I think like this small movements bring a big change. Is that what I believe, Tats?
Wonderful as always. Rachel, last question. What advice do you have for the next generation of Latin American women leaders?
Mm-hmm. You know, Tati, I am mother of Sara Maria and Pedro Antonio. I feel sad because of like the pandemic moment make a very deep damage on the suburbs education that has been hurt deeply. We have 1 year and a half of completely out of the education. We should understand the internet don't go to the suburbs, don't go to the favelas. They didn't experiment that like a home education. This is not real. I feel deeply sad for that, because I truly believe the education is the only way to change, to improve, to make transformation in a country. The other side, as I said, I am Sara Maria's and Pedro Antonio's mother. And then I can feel and see and hear the behavior of them is completely different than ours. We should re-educate ourselves to be less, to take care about like how to treat the person next to us, you know, because it's like that. We should not just think generally, but we should think right next. On this moment, I should think on the touch. And then the next generation already think more, they are more genuinely inside of like the diversity. The problem is now, the present. As I said, we should treat the Brazil of the present Brazil, this Brazil from now. This is our issue. And then, of course, the issue that we face for the education. So for the next generation, I really expect that the diversity should be just part of like the book to understand. Like years ago, we should empower and make the incentives to people study and understand and rebuild the story with more inclusion. And then for next generation, I hope they just understand that by the book and then continue to live with more inclusion, because just the inclusion, just the plurality, just being more fair with the next that is right next to you, we will be change the world and continue to empower the education. You should sometime get out from your house and then get out from your world and then check what's going on in the world that you on this moment doesn't know. You should do that right now. Move. Let's move. Let's make this change, but this is our responsibility. I should say sorry. Sometimes I'm kind of person. I am a very emotional person. This is the way that I am. And then these 2 years that I've worked more and more with diversity, I feel that like I am much more embracing in the process. And then I feel much more, I feel sorry for the people that's around me. I receive more than 300 messages daily. I have 40 people work to me now because I'm working with the diversity. Companies want to learn that. I receive a lot of requests for that, but I feel like emotionally involved on that because most of them still want to just take a picture. And then my responsibility is change that, because I really care about the word that my daughter, your daughter, you know, the next generation will take care. And then if we don't make our speech very clear, you know, very direct with what the next generation desire, we have a problems, huge problems. I don't want to just Diana, as a Latin American woman, join a position because they look to her and then this is acceptable. I don't want that. I want people that look to our life for our talk here, and then they just don't look to me and said, oh, you know, what she's doing over there. I want they just open the screen and said, oh, let's hear what they have to added value on my life. You know, I think we still a lot to do. And then I believe we need to do this speech. We need to repeat this speech a little bit more until we really provoke this genuinely transformation. Is that what I believe?
Thank you so much. You've touched me. Thank you so
much. My honor, my pleasure.